How to get 350 plus on OET speaking. If you're here, you're probably struggling to get a high score on the OET speaking test. Today, we are going to see what you must do on test day to ensure a high score. Remember that on the day of the speaking test for OET, you will have 3 minutes to prepare the role play, which includes reading the card and taking notes. The first information you have on the card is the setting. The setting normally ranges from community health center, private clinic, GP surgery, suburban health center, suburban general practice, emergency department, 24-hour clinic, general practice surgery, hospital outpatient clinic, or the patient's home. Knowing where you are is quite helpful as it will guide you on how to start the conversation. The second point is called doctor. Here you will find out why the patient has come to see you or why you are talking to the patient. Sometimes you might have the name of the patient in this part of the card. In case you don't have it, you should quickly decide if you will ask the patient's name during the 3-minute preparation or in the beginning of the task. If you decide to ask during the 3-minute preparation, be polite to the interlocutor and ask, "How may I call you during the role play?" What is the child's name? It's also an important question in case your patient is a child. But even if you ask the name of the child, you will be always directing your conversation only to the parent. If you decide to ask the name of the patient at the beginning of the task, make sure you are polite. For these, you should first introduce yourself. For example, "Hi, my name is Dr. Yemi. May I confirm your name, please?" After you have confirmed or asked the patient's name, it is time to check the reason for the consultation. A simple question such as, "What brings you here today?" is enough. However, you have to be careful with the information given in the doctor part. If it is the patient's second visit, you should already know his name, and introducing yourself does not make much sense. Instead, you could simply say, "Hi, Mr. Smith. It's nice to see you again. How have you been?" In this specific card of the example, we are talking to the daughter of our patient. Then you also have to include a little bit of extra information from the doctor part in the beginning of the conversation, such as, "Hi, Miss Jones, welcome to our health center. My name is Dr. Yemi, and I was one of the doctors who treated your mom. What can I do for you today?" This is not the only way to start the dialogue. For every card we receive, we have to check the information given in order to be polite as we start the conversation with the interlocutor. Remember, the interlocutor is not your examiner. He's just there to role-play the two dialogues with you. The audio of your role plays will be recorded and sent to OET for assessment. Are you enjoying our video so far? Then remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like this video. Leave a comment below saying which roleplay you would like to see explained in our next video. Now we are ready for our first task. After we ask the daughter, "What can I do for you today?" or "What brings you here today?" she will probably tell us that she is worried about her mom. Now that she has been discharged, she wants to know if she is the right person to take care of her mom, as she feels that at the age of 57, she might not be able to give all the care and attention that her mom deserves. In this OET roleplay, your task 1 is very short. You can say something like, "Thank you for sharing your concerns with me, Miss Jones. I appreciate it must be difficult for you. Let me reassure you of the support of the Community and Health Center for both you and your mom. You're not alone, and we will be with you all the way through your mom's recovery. Always feel free to reach out to us if you need any help or if you have any questions about your mom's condition." Moving on to task number 2, we have to first explain what a stroke is. Remember that you're talking to the patient's daughter, so keep your explanation short and simple. For example, before we talk about your mom's further care, I would like to explain to you what a stroke is. A stroke happens when the blood supply to the brain is cut off. As a consequence, it may affect the patient's speech and mobility. Is it clear? After this question, you can open for the daughter to ask something else that might be in her mind, such as, do you have any other questions about a stroke? Be ready because the daughter might ask you something that you don't have in your card, such as, will my mom recognize me on a daily basis? Here, you're not being tested on your medical accuracy. You're being tested in your language skills. So, answer the question to the best of your knowledge and move on. A simple answer to this question could be, well, Miss Jones, your mom is still recovering and she will have good and bad days, so we have to be ready for both. As you go to task number 3, you will have to explain about her mom's further care. Make sure you transform the information in brackets into sentences and do not include too much extra information as you need to manage your time during the OET speaking role play. One way you could start this task is this. Now, Miss Jones, I would like to talk to you about your mother's further care at home. It is important for her to take her medication every day at the same time. We might need to do some house modifications, such as installing rails or moving your mom's bedroom to the ground floor. And I would like to refer your mom to an occupational therapist for a home assessment. Would that be okay with you? Before moving to the next task, you could ask, do you have any other questions about your mom's further care? To which the daughter might ask, yes, how long is she going to live? The question may seem shocking at first, as it is impossible to answer, but you still have to give the daughter a nice and polite answer. Well, Miss Jones, unfortunately, none of us have the answer to that question. We have to focus on giving your mom the best care we can. We finally reached task number 4. On the day of the OET speaking task, there might be more than 5 tasks. I have already seen 7 tasks once. So remember to manage your time. Do not rush through the tasks, but try to complete as many tasks as possible, as this will increase your chances of getting a high score. You can start this last task by saying something as, Miss Jones, I would like to advise you about signs that can be suggestive of another stroke. If you see that your mom has difficulty speaking, vision problems, loss of balance, or weakness in the face, please call 911 immediately because she might be having another stroke. You can end the dialogue with a question such as, is there anything else you would like to know about your mom's condition? As you can see, we should always use the same verbs we have in the tasks. Reassure, explain, advise, and so on. This will keep our conversation organized and it will help the examiner later on, when he listens to your role plays, to know in which task you are. It might seem silly, but this could be quite helpful for him to see how organized you are and how many tasks you were able to complete. Well, this is the end of this speaking role play for the OET speaking task. What was your favorite part of this video? Write it in the comments below. I wish you a fantastic day and I will see you next week in our new video. Take care.